Now, this is what I want you to do. For all those who are not subscribers to the Shock of the Hour, I need you to email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com. Because for a limited time only, I will be offering, listen to this, 2 free weeks of the Shock of the Hour. So if you're not a subscriber to the Shock, of course you've listened to the Shock, but if you're not receiving the Shock of the Hour every evening in your inbox via the email, then you need to contact me and say, Priest Isaac, I would like to get the 2-week subscription. That is the free subscription for the Shock of the Hour. And we will send you, email you each and every evening after the Shock of the Hour, that episode specifically that was recorded. Remember, the Shock of the Hour is a program that comes to you every evening. I'm talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, as I said, after the program, you get the recording of the program in your inbox, in your email the next day. That is the Shock of the Hour. And of course, it is a monthly subscription of only $50 United States currency. But I am offering you for a limited time 2 weeks subscription free of cost for the Shock of the Hour. And of course, after the 2 strongs or 2 weeks as they call it is expired, it is up to you if you'd like to continue with the Shock of the Hour subscription. So to get 2 whole strongs, 2 whole weeks specifically as they call it, of the Shock of the Hour free, no charge whatsoever, and you can full enjoy the nightly program that you ain't gonna hear on YouTube and you're not gonna get on Facebook, just definitely contact us, Priest Isaac, PRIESTISAAC 27@gmail.com. Blessed love. I'm saying that a lot of people seem not to like to speak about business is because, for example, let me show you. I don't think that there is a week that pass. Sometimes it happens every day where I would get a message, whether it's on the WhatsApp, whether it's SMS, or whether it's an email, of someone telling me or expressing to me how much money they don't have and how poor they are and how hard it is where they live and the value of their dollar to the US dollar. I'm telling you, now there's no one that could be offended or feel offended for what I'm saying here, because obviously some of my listeners will be saying, oh my, he's speaking about me. Now, I may be speaking about you, but believe me, I ain't speaking about you. I'm just speaking of the reality of what's going on. As I said, you know, a week would not pass for sure, and this has been happening for a while. A week would not pass, and I don't get at least one person saying that. That's for sure. But sometimes within the week you get 4 or 5. Sometimes it's back to back. This day, today, tomorrow, the other day. Someone saying, Honorable Priest, give thanks. I would love to get that book, but I have not been working for 3 years. And this and something else. Oh, Honorable Priest, I would like to subscribe, but I'm very poor. I was not born in a wealthy family. And again, let me say this, although I may sympathize, and I do, and empathize too, if you understand who I am, with the situation that is taking place internationally and globally, really, around the world, especially as it relates to us as a people. A program that I did just a few evenings ago, I was showing you that my mind frame, man, I go all over. Within my mind, I'm talking about. I mean, I've traveled and seen things with my eyes, but of course, studying and reading and observing and listening and watching. Now, your imagination can take you to the slums of certain places where your people live, to the ghettos where your family dwells, to the inner cities where they're being persecuted and robbed and spoiled even up to a day like today. as I am speaking to you right now. Now me and you talk. Our sisters are being raped. I'm not speaking esoterically. No, me and you talking, I talking to you. Our sister right now is being raped. No. One of our little children, little brothers or sisters, nephews, nieces are trying to kill themselves, slit their wrists. Think that the world is just a horrible place and they need to get away. Children doing that. Children begging for bread. Children living in the streets. Children, and this is happening. I don't have to go to Africa to say that, you know. It's going on in Brazil. It's going on in New York. It is going on in Jamaica. Children, you know. Some of you live in places where the old people live on the street. Or, you know, a young adult who maybe feels like life is just a waste. He lives on the street. She lives on the street. But there are places where children congregate in the night and go to sleep under the train track. Wake up in the morning, rub their eye, go at the river, wash their face, and then go downtown to beg. They ain't got no home to go to. And they're there in the dozens. It does exist. So I'm saying, before anyone, you know, fails to comprehend where I'm coming from, that I know what's going on the planet. Been there, done that, and, you know, have an understanding, man, trust me. But what I'm saying now, that this is why when we speak about our economic state, some of the people are telling me that they're dirt poor. Some of the people are telling me that they don't even know what to do. I know some of them have not gone through what I just explained. And even if you did, you have to have a better appreciation for yourself and for your ability. This is why in the Bible it speaks about the Almighty. So into the Bible thing and the vibes are talking about the Almighty. This is why in the Bible it speaks about the man that gave, I think it was 10 talents to one servant and gave 5 talents to another servant, and talents is money, you know, and gave 1 talent to one servant. And as I always say, the talents also represents your talent, your gift, what you can do. And the one that he gave the 1 talent to went and buried it. And the others went and they utilized their talents and doubled it and tripled it and whatever else they did, but they made more talents. So when the king came back and said, how's, you know, everything? Everybody brought, except the 1 talent man, everybody brought more talent than was given to them. And he came with his 1 talent and said, hey, king, I hid this because I know you're not you don't play around, you know. So I didn't want nothing to happen to this. You see, I polished it, I shined it. Here you go, king. And the king was upset. The king arrested him. You know what I mean? The king took away his talent and gave it to the brother with the 10 talents. And again, talent is money. But talent is also your gift. And the point is, all of us have at least 1 talent. All of us have at least 1 talent, gift, ability, something that you can do and master. We all have it. And the master himself, which is the Almighty. I guess I was on the right track. The master himself, who is the Almighty, made sure that we all gave one talent, but because, or got one talent at least, but because he knows who we are. He's also very, very skeptical, if you want to put it, with some of us. But he makes sure he give us at least a talent, though. At least you got one. Some he give 10, some he give 5, according to that parable in the Bible, in the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? So if you can comprehend that, utilize that gift that you were given. As I said before, also some people, when they get a gift, they leave it in the box. They leave it in the shiny wrapped, birthday gift or whatever paper. Some of them don't even take off the ribbon. And even those who take off the ribbon and unwrap the gift, oh, this is nice, this is pretty, put it in the cupboard for me. So they put it away. They only use it when they have company. No, use your gift all the time. You don't have to entertain company. Entertain yourself. Because we do not understand how valuable we are, we don't entertain ourselves. So when we get our gifts, nice cutlery, chinaware, crystal glasses, we put them in the cupboard. Sometimes we even leave them in the box, the manufacturer box, maybe not the box, the gift box. Some leave it in the gift box. Some leave the wrapping paper on the gift. They don't even know what's in the box. Some of us, we take it out of the gift box, but we still leave it in the box from where it came from, the factory. Take it out the box, rinse it out, and take the first sip of your gift. You don't have to wait until, you're having some sort of shindig to pull out the special wear. Pull it out on yourself and wear it for yourself. Yeah. No, I'm serious. I'm using that analogy to how we look at ourselves. It is because in many cases we have a very low esteem of ourselves, low value given to ourselves. That is why that scripture, ye are all gods, is so important. Ye are all gods, children of the Most High God, but ye shall die like men. So that is saying that because you are a child of the Most High, you are a God. We are all a God. But right now we are all just dying like regular men. So although we are by nature a God, we are totally out of our nature. Because God is a creator. What are the attributes of God? A creator. A creator. Ross, if I have a book for $20 and you're going to tell me you really want that book, but you can't get it because you don't have a job, and you can't get that book because you were not born into a rich family, you cannot get the book because in your country the dollar or the value of the dollar, pardon me, is this in comparison to your dollar and this dollar and that dollar. I ain't got no dollar. This is planet Earth we're living on. This is planet Earth we're living on. We're in the international community. And if you really take in the lessons that I've been giving, even if you only comprehend 10% of what I've been saying, you should be at least to a frequency where you would say, hey, Kingy, rough wrong, trust me. How much you say for the book? $20. Just give me about 7 days and I'll get back to you. You mean you cannot do that? So don't look for no sympathy from me. And I'm not saying you got to buy my product, I'm only using this as the example. This is not an ad or a commercial. I'm not trying to sell nothing. That's how it came to me, so that's how I'm spitting it back out. Because the individuals, because it's a lot of people, man, that's touching. A lot of people on a regular email me, text me, telling me how deprived they are economically. And because of that, they can't purchase this and that. Because they hear me speak about we need to, not only appreciate each other, but we need to support and patronize each other. They hear their brother speak about that all the time. I don't know if they think when they call me or link me, I'm going to say, let me ask you, have you bought let me ask you, did you have the cosmic series? Listen, don't tell me you don't have the master of ceremony. Are you a subscriber? No, nobody can ever tell me and knock them none of that. Nobody can tell you that. So I don't know if you think that's what you're going to get, so you put up a shield quick to show me how poor you are. But get out of that, man. Don't be telling nobody how poor you are. What kind of crap is that? Not feeling the way I'm talking to you like a brother. It touched me, man. It touched me. Fire. It touched me, man. To hear us squabbling so. Oh, man, it's sick. Listen. Where I'm sitting right here, in Antigua, if for one reason or the other, I could not find a way to, let's just say, feed my children. Ras, you know how much neem tree just around the place wild? You know what you can do with neem? You know you can make neem oil. You know you can pick them leaves and put them in a plastic bag and sell people for $2 and sell 10 of them a day. 10 will give you $20. 10 bag of bush that you pick from a tree that don't belong to no one. Hills all over the island full with lemongrass. You mean to tell me you can't catch a bus? I ain't got no bus money. Well, walk. It's about a 5-mile walk. You can do it. Walk. You have children that want food. Walk. Get a knife. You ain't got no knife? Okay, well, you don't need a knife then if you ain't got a knife. Things so bad. Walk. If you don't have shoes, take this last walk barefoot and go in the hills and pull up some lemongrass and come home and cut them neatly and put them in a plastic bag and sell them for $5. And when you get a certain amount of money, see if you can advance to a tea bag stage. We need to step out of that. And I'm being very honest and genuine here. Please, this is genuine from my heart. I'm not trying to offend nobody. Those who have contacted me, I'm not bringing you out on the firing line. I ain't calling nobody name. Nobody know who I'm talking about. But as I said, it's a collective sort of, onslaught, I would call it. So I have to answer, and I'm answering to the collective. Now come with nobody come and no sob story to me. If you think that's where you are, you're not buying no book, you're not buying, just don't buy it. You have something to say to me, email me, I will talk to you. I ain't asking if you buy the book, I'll talk to you. It's all right. Don't tell me how poor you are. Nah, man, we ain't entertaining them crap. We not entertaining that. That's why you see those money videos we do, they have the least views. Well, at least the second least views. I don't know why, but the abortion videos, they don't go nowhere. I don't know, like people not interested in abortion. Yeah, right. As if I don't know something going on behind the scene. But you see the money videos now. Not people interested in no money. Advertise with the Tiger's Nest, not the Shock of the Hour, but the Tiger's Nest. That's the YouTube program. Advertise for free. You can hear the crickets. I'm not going over that again. But it shows the interest that we have in our economic state. Just last night, a good brother was saying, I know he was saying it in a bit of passion in a gathering we had, a meeting, and he was saying, brother, it's not money I looking for now. Me just want to live happy and me alright, you know, man. Me just want to see man live in love, you know, and too much money, you know. Once everybody alright, we good, you know. Well, he was talking of who, you know, those who were gathered there, and you know, I didn't say it at the moment because I would say it. I say, hey, boss, it's money we're looking for. I don't know, money we want, plenty money too. This no me alright thing ain't good enough. Me alright? How could me be alright? And Africa not alright. Our leaders say that. Kwame Nkrumah, Osagyefo say that. The independence of I and I is meaningless unless all of Africa is free. Haile Selassie I said the same thing. And this is not going to happen unless we have a proper economic foundation. Not money, you know, a proper economic foundation. I say money, yeah. Because most of us is the money stage we are, you know. We ain't on no economic nothing stage yet. A lot of us, you think we just using the terms, you know, and finances. You know what finance is? Some dictionary define finance as plenty money, you know, the management of what's the exact term? But a large amount of money. Most of us ain't nowhere close to that. Is money we earn, dollars and pennies. That's where we are, most of us. Let's be serious, man. We ain't no finance. I don't care what we have the bank. It's money we earn. So we are on the money stage. Money can't run the world. Money really cannot run the world. Okay, it's your finances and the economic state of your business and your nation and your people. The economy is not just money. It's a lot of things. But most of us, we are on what? The money stage. Buy, sell, work, pay, bills, the money we on. Yeah. But not just land, not real estate alone, land with minerals, the mineral wealth of the land. And retrieving our land is very important too. Which brings me now to the topic of tonight. I'm glad I said that maybe I would have, well, I wouldn't forget, you know, because I was going to say I would have forget, but no. All right, take it easy, Simba. All right, Simba. Simba's not a lion. This is the tiger's nest. Simba is my tiger here. All right, Simba, take it easy. All right. Okay, Simba, yes, I know. Okay, take it easy. All right, yeah. Yeah, so the subject of the evening really is this. Egypt outraged. You've heard about it? Egypt outraged over the sale of Tutankhamun's sculpture at London's auction. And this is coming from Daily Sabah. And it says here, a 3,000-year-old head sculpture of an eternally young Tutankhamun, the Egyptian pharaoh known as King Tut, imagine that, goes under the hammer this week in London despite an outcry from Cairo. Conscious and woke people, stop calling him King Tut, eh? You should. Just like you should stop calling your children kids, you shouldn't call Tutankhamun King Tut. I mean, come on, it's disrespectful. Christie's expects the 28.5 centimeter, 11-inch brown quartzite relic from the Valley of the Kings to fetch more than £4 million, $5.1 million, or 4.5 million euros on Thursday. That's this coming Thursday. The Financial Times reported that it was the first such Egyptian statuette to go on the market since 1985. The pharaoh's finely chiseled head, its serene eyes and puffed lips, emoting a sense of eternal peace, comes from the private, imagine that, comes from the private Risandro collection of ancient art that Christie's last sold in 2016 for £3 million. But Egyptian authorities overseeing the North African country's unparalleled collection of antiquities want to see the auction halted and the treasure returned. You get that? But Egyptian authorities overseeing the North African country's unparalleled collection of antiquities, you get that? The North African countries, that's Egypt. You see all them poetic word, you get lost in what I'm saying now. Nobody have them levels of artifact. Like Tutankhamun coming out of Kemet. But Egyptian authorities overseeing the North African country's unparalleled collection of antiquities want to see the auction halted and treasure returned. So they want them to, bring them back. The Egyptian embassy in London requested the British Foreign Affairs Minister and the auction Minister, and the auction hall, to stop the sale. Let me get that again. You don't know how it goes. The Egyptian embassy in London requested the British Foreign Affairs Ministry and the auction hall to stop the sale. Right. Egypt Foreign Ministry said on the 10th of June. Former Antiquities Minister Zahi Hawass, most of you would know him, told AFP on Sunday that the piece appears to have been stolen, in the 1970s from the Karnak Temple complex of Egypt's great monuments. All right. So how I saying it's steal it now, they're selling it for millions of pounds, euros, and dollars. The owners given, this is he saying here, the owners have given false information, he said in a telephone interview. They have not shown any legal papers to prove its ownership. The French-owned British auction house explained that the current lot was acquired. The current lot, so I guess he's talking about, was acquired by Risandro's from a Munich-based dealer in 1985. It traces its prior origin to the 1973-1974 acquisition by another dealer in Austria from the princely house of Throne and Taxis in modern-day Germany. The trail peters out shortly afterward, and little is known of the public about how the statue found its way to Europe. I wonder if you're picking up all of this. Ancient objects, by their nature, cannot be traced over the millennia, Christie's said in a statement released to AFP. It is hugely important to establish recent ownership and legal right to sell, which we have clearly done, it added. Okay. And this goes on and on and on. This goes into Howard Carter and all of that. And as I said, this is seen from the Daily Sabbath. Now, okay, just wrap your mind around that. Now, before we go to the selling of the artifact, even the Egyptian authorities, and I would say give thanks that they have interest in getting the artifacts out of the hands of the Europeans. That's nice. But the artifacts doesn't belong to them neither. The Egyptians, the current Egyptians, the people that basically occupy the land now. The land is not them as well or theirs. The people that live there, the people that govern the land, the people they refer to as the Egyptians. That area doesn't belong to them. North Africa doesn't belong to the Arabs. This is history we're going into if we want to know exactly how they got there. We're dealing with the history of conquest, slavery and war. And that is how they got in Egypt, in Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. Yeah. So the artifacts now, a lot of them were looted during war, and some of them were just downright stolen. This is a case of somebody coming and shoving the statuette in their bag and sneaking out the country. It's obvious. These are the same killers that come and sneak people out, and organs and all of that. So to take up a little statuette ain't nothing to them. Now selling it for millions of dollars. And we here crying about reparation. And we here crying about we don't know where the next dollar coming from. And this is why I said at the beginning of this program that this program could be equated to the programs that we do on our economy or our business, mind your own business, that we do on YouTube, because we're dealing with the state of our economy. So what is the state? Even if you ain't got no economy turning as a people, that's the state of your economy. Nil. So what is the state of our economy? And if we're going to really speak of our economy as a people, this must come into the discussion. It's just a part of the discussion, but it is an important part of the discussion. So yeah, we can talk about the system that we currently live in. We can talk about minimum wage. Yeah, we can talk about that all day long. And then those of us who are looking at it from another angle, we can say, hey, as a people, we spend X amount of money or Y amount of money every year. In some of the inner cities alone in the United States, we throwing down dozens of billions of dollars every year. The billions of dollars in the dozens, 12 billion, 24 billion, 36 billion out of one city every year we spend it. So that must come into consideration if we're speaking of our economic growth as a people. We have to see where we are psychologically, where we are even philosophically. It's important. That is why I'm saying this is a bit different than dollars and money. That is why individually now, you got to get your dollars right, or your pounds or your euros. Your money got to be correct as an individual, because eventually we're talking about pooling resources together. When you pool resources together, you're pooling ideas together, you're pooling thought patterns together, you're pooling anything you're pooling together with people. When you marry people, I don't just mean husband and wife. When you go into a business, it's almost like a marriage, because a marriage is a business. So a business is like a marriage. You're pooling people's baggage with them, or the baggage they have. You're pulling all that together too, because people's baggage and their history, their past, helps to form their philosophy, their outlook, their thoughts, their psychology. All of that is a part of your economic state. That is why it's important for us to teach, to edify, to awaken people. Because when people are telling you that they're not Africans and they have nothing to do with Africa, They're Israelites from Palestine. And you argue with them and say, brother, I ain't got a problem with your outlook, but you are an African. No. And they say, them stinking Africans. It's hard for you to tell these people. And some of them will try to tell you, okay, let's put our religious differences aside and try to work together for the common good. That's good. I agree with that. But nobody can put no religious differences aside. No, you're not going to put down your religious differences. You're just going to try to tolerate me and I'm going to try to tolerate you. But we are so dogmatic. Remember, you don't believe you're an African. You believe that you are a black man living in the West. You don't believe you're an African. So now when the African thing come into the discussion, the religion gonna wake back up. It's just a fact. I see it happen all the time. Then you're gonna say, well, listen, brother, I want to work along with you, but I can't work with them Africans. But you're an African too. Remember you said we're gonna leave that aside. Hear that. Hear that. So psychologically, we gotta be balanced. I'm talking about the statue here of Tutankhamun. This is why this is not headline news. Because we're psychologically gone. Headline news is who killed who last night. That's headline news. Headline news is a car accident. That's headline news. But somebody robbed you and trying to sell your goods for millions of dollars. For millions of dollars in Europe. And then another robber, another killer, trying to take back the same stolen goods which they stole first. And we not interested one bit. We not interested one iota. Because we are numb to this, as we are numb to so many other things that affect us. We feel it ain't got nothing to do with us. Look who fighting for our stuff. One thief fighting the other thief for our stuff. And it means nothing to us. The most we can do is cheer on the thief that lives in the land where the stuff belongs, so at least it's going back home. So, at least it's going back to Egypt if they get it back. But it's still going to be in the hand of thief number one. The land is in the hand of thief number one. That's the reality of it. So King Tutankhamun now ain't no regular Joe Blow, eh? That's the feathered snake. Howard Carter and Carney Van and all them people there. For those who have not seen the documentary we did on Tutankhamun, that's on YouTube. I think it's The Curse of Tutankhamun. I think that's what it's called. Go and watch it. The Curse of Tutankhamun. That's another thing. This is a university. I'm not ashamed to say this. So if you're serious about the information, you need to take the time, and sit in and take in all that's there. I know some of you watch every day. If a day passes and you don't hear me on the YouTube, and maybe it's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the shock ain't coming until Monday, well, go on the YouTube and go and source out the videos that you have not watched. How many of us have watched Semenkari? Because if you've watched Semenkari, if you comprehend Semenkari, if you've watched that same one on YouTube, The Curse of Tutankhamun, and Semenkari is on YouTube too, this discussion would even have a different sound to you than it sounds now if you have not seen these critical documentaries. This conversation would have a higher level of appreciation from you, just because you've seen those documentaries. You understand? Now, let me also say something. Now, this is what I want you to do. For all those who are not subscribers to the Shock of the Hour, I need you to email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com, because for a limited time only, I will be offering, listen to this, 2 free weeks of the Shock of the Hour. So if you're not a subscriber to the Shock, of course you've listened to the Shock, but if you're not receiving the Shock of the Hour every evening in your inbox via the email, then you need to contact me and say, Priest Isaac, I would like to get the 2-week subscription. That is the free subscription for the Shock of the Hour. And we will send you, email you each and every evening after the Shock of the Hour, that episode specifically that was recorded. Remember, the Shock of the Hour is a program that comes to you every evening. I'm talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, as I said, after the program, you get the recording of the program in your inbox, in your email the next day. That is the Shock of the Hour. And of course, it is a monthly subscription of only $50 United States currency. But I am offering you for a limited time 2 weeks subscription free of cost for the Shock of the Hour. And of course, after the 2 strongs or 2 weeks as they call it is expired, it is up to you if you'd like to continue with the Shock of the Hour subscription. So to get 2 whole strongs, 2 whole weeks specifically as they call it, of the Shock of the Hour free, no charge whatsoever, and you could full joy the nightly program that you ain't gonna hear on YouTube and you're not gonna get on Facebook, just definitely contact us, Priest Isaac, PRIESTISAAC 27@gmail.com. Blessed love. Blessed love to everyone. Let me ask you a question now. Do you have a copy of our digital electronic book, The True Biblical Land of Israel? Now, if you do not have a copy of The True Biblical Land of Israel, to get a copy of The True Biblical Land of Israel, all you have to do is email us, priestisaac27@gmail.com. This is the book that was once a theological paper. This is the book that we have issued the challenge on. That challenge being, if anyone can dispute and refute our facts, that according to the biblical description, the geography of the Bible, according to the information coming out of that specific book, the biblical land of Israel, again, described in the Bible, is Africa plus Arabia. And as I said, within the pages of the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, we give the facts, we give all the references as it relates to the narrative of the Bible. And of course, we still bring in some archaeology and anthropology. But of course, the core of the discussion is coming from the scriptures. So this is why the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, is not a book to try to validate the Bible. It is a book that proves that according to the Bible, whatever the origin is, or wherever it came from, or whoever originally wrote it, that's not the point. The point that according to this well-respected book, the Bible, the land of Israel is Africa plus Arabia. So as I said, our ebook, all you have to do is email us and we ship it to you through the email. You find it in your inbox right away. And of course, your payments can be made right away as well, as we utilize the PayPal, and the PayPal is the same as our email, priestisaac27@gmail.com. And let me just say as well, for a very limited time, and we'll tell you when the time has met its limit, we will be offering the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, with the biblical land of Israel. Listen to me good. So when you buy or purchase the biblical land of Israel, we would give you a free copy of the book Anu. Now the value of both is $20 each United States currency. So you'll be literally getting a $40 value for just purchasing the biblical land of Israel. And the same goes for Anu. When you purchase the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, we will give you a free copy of the true biblical land of Israel. And listen to me, I'm not done yet. And when you purchase them both, you would get a free copy again. When you purchase them both now, you're buying the two of them, we give you a free copy of The Night of the Black Tiger, which is not a book, at least it's not in book form as yet, but it is our more recent DVD video documentary, The Night of the Black Tiger, the divinity of Marcus, Messiah Garvey. And I can go on and on because we have so many other things to offer. And the point really is, once you shop with us, we always have some gift to give you. That's really the point. So as I said, the true biblical land of Israel. As I said, this is the book that is the challenge that has gone out, where we have just one university at the moment that has even responded to the challenge. So that means that there must be something in the book that cannot be denied. You need to get your copy of the book. And as I said, payments can be made through the PayPal as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Blessed love.